Yeah. So, so based off of where you were, what surprises me is that you weren't. I mean, I had a different experience with you because when I'm looking at you, I'm thinking Adonis, fucking guy is like the badass. He's the best. Because I came in, I'm a year behind, Todd, and I'm looking at you. I'm like John Cotton, you guys, Lauren Whittle, all of these guys are just superstars, right? People that I want to be like, and all that confidence, and you coming in and saying it wasn't that. It's surprising, right? Because that's not the vision I had of you, right? And so then it asks you what did, because you had goals, you had vision, people, whether it was given by student by fact by from coaches or faculty or yourself. What surprised you most of how your path took you? Like what happened after high school? What was that journey? And did it fit your expectations, or where did it go? Not necessarily all the hardships, but initially, what were you wanting to be?
Well, I honestly, when I was just finishing up senior year, I wanted to be a something dealing in the computer industry because I had thought that that was going to be something big, kind of is. But I didn't pursue that. Fortunately enough, I got a scholarship to play at Long Beach State football, and so I went
Yeah,
from high school straight to Long Beach State and played there for 5 years. But I got
yeah,
injured and
yeah,
tore up my back and was unable to play for 3 of the 5 years of that I was there.
yeah,
So in that interim, I was trying to figure shit out, and so I just graduated college, you know, and just continued
yeah,
to do it. I was winging it through the whole thing. I didn't really have a plan when I got hurt. I mean, I thought football wasn't
yeah,
my plan, and then I got hurt, and I'm like,
yeah,
what am I going to do now?
yeah. And how did it? And so, how did that transition into law enforcement?
Well, I got a degree in child development and family studies. I wanted to be a
Okay,
marriage and family therapist or dealing with kids and helping
okay,
in any way I could, and realized that that was not a road that was going to be as easy for me to do based on situations. So I just picked up side jobs. I worked 4 different jobs, worked at a bouncer and a manager in a nightclub and hotel security and blah, blah, blah. And then I worked at one club, and there's a pretty big issue that happened that LAPD had to get involved, and Long Beach showed up where the location was. And long story short, I was like, all this like blue fog coming into Long Beach trying to take care of this problem with LAPD. There's a big battle, or what, this shouldn't have been, but there was.
yeah,
And I'm like, ooh, I like this stuff, man. This is the energy, the weaponry, the camaraderie, the whole
yeah,
everything. And that's me. I've always wanted to be either a fireman or a policeman. And
okay,
so you had to be on a waiting list to be a fireman for over 10 years, just
yeah,
unfortunately because of the color of your skin or whatever. And so I chose police based on that incident, and I joined Long Beach PD for that.
okay,
How long were you with Long Beach PD?
Uh, about 8 years. I
okay,
got injured again there several different times, but it got to the point where I had back surgery and both rotator cuff surgeries, and so I was basically medically retired from working there anymore. But
yeah,
I was like, just give me a little bit longer. Don't retire me yet, and then I can
yeah,
recover. But that's not the way it works. So I got into
yeah,
executive protection and private security. And
okay.
so then I got to work for Saudis from the Prince from Saudi and these
Oh
Qatar.
wow,
I mean, there's a lot of executive high end money people. And so I did that for another, I think, 7 years or so. Well, that's a whole new story, whole new world,
yeah,
man. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to have you come back on. We can dive deeper into some of those issues, right?
yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah. So,
It's really
so,
fascinating.
I mean, a little bit on that. I mean, you say the Saudi prince. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, maybe just delve into that a little bit. That's just sounds very
Were
cool.
you working for a company or were you working
Uh,
for yourself?
yeah, the company hires. I was referred to the company by another um, executive worker, and so that's kind of how it works in that industry. Is you get referred to based on what you do and what you know. And so I got in, and my first day was directly with the Royal Highness. And talk about being overwhelmed. I mean, my first day, and I didn't have the kind of experience that these guys who referred me into it had. So I was faking it to make it. And I was
Yeah.
acting like I was this, inside I'm going, holy fuck, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was very,
Hey, just a
I,
side note. Our dumbasses have live running right now. And we've been upside down this whole time.
My little brother just texted me and told us, hey, you're upside down. Not on our recording one, but that we're gonna post, but on our
So you say faking it to make it. That's exactly what we're doing right now.
I love it.
That's cool, man. That's freaking awesome. What was the hardest part of that part of your, I mean, what's the hardest part of going into law enforcement and transitioning to security and doing all that stuff? My dad was LAPD 30 years, right? And James Hewitt, is LAPD as well. And so we have a lot of that in my family. I'm wondering how it turned out for you generationally. I've seen it from my dad's side, who was a boomer, right? And what he went through. I'm just wondering how that applies to you, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, my father was in the military. He served a little bit in Vietnam. And then my
Yeah.
obviously younger brother, Rick, was military too. So that was the only
Yeah.
military we had. Just me always wanting to be something and helping, and police was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I got into it. And then transferring from police to executive protection bodyguard stuff, it's a total different world. There's a lot
Yeah.
more things to think about when you're private working for someone directly as his
Yeah.
right hand person, as opposed to being in an organization where you have all their other policies and that stuff.
Yeah.
But the money wise is far better on private, obviously. The things that they do with you, for you, where you go is totally different, but the responsibility and liability is off the chart, because you are constantly, when you're with your client, you're constantly 24/7 monitoring, watching not only him, his expressions and what he's doing, because he's seeing things that you don't see. But
Yeah.
you also have to watch the people around him who are looking at him, knowing who he is and what they want to get from him in some type of way. And you have to decipher all that within a couple seconds to know if that's a threat or not a threat. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff constantly for 3, 4, 5 months, every single day.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into doing that.
Does it help to, like, once you get to know somebody that you're protecting, does it get easier for you as you go because you know their mannerisms and you can kind of pick up their psyche?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, man, because if you're not paying attention to him and his mannerisms, he might do his eyes like, and now you got to know what was that he looked at, because something startled him and I didn't see it. So the transition of, and I got many examples of this, but if you don't know him and how he does what he does, how he walks, space that you have to keep between them, the speed he walks, people coming up. I mean, there's so many things you take into consideration. And now, mind you, it's just me. And he's got an entourage of 15, 20 people sometimes. And now I got to figure out who's doing what, who's playing around, who's, fucking with me, because they like to mess with you too, to see if you're on your toes. They'll try and ditch you to see if you're paying attention to where they walked and you didn't see them. I mean, it's, and sometimes they get away with it, but man, and they'll fire you in a second because there's so many other people out there that'll just take that job.
Yeah.
It's not a money thing. It's a loyalty. It's a knowing what you're doing and being there for them.
Yeah. So are you happy with your career choice?
Police wise, yes. I just really felt it was cut short. I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do because I was, on the injury side. I even was developing a program called Big Brother in Blue, to where I was helping kids, the ones that you can reach, obviously, get to the point where they wanted to work, they wanted to learn skills, they wanted to interview. So we would teach them the interviewing skills and maybe connect them with the job opportunity and so on. But that was even taken away because of the injuries and stuff. So it was very frustrating on that. And then jumping into the security side, it was just a filler because I was good at it and I liked doing what I was doing, and I was able to do it at the time. So, that was the transition.
Yeah, yeah. Did you, what about family? I mean, tell us a little bit about your family. What happened in relationships and parenting? Did you go down that path?
As much as you want to share.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, family was
mostly
interesting.
focused on the kids if you have any, or
Yeah, I have a daughter named Kayla, and she is an incredible human being.
yeah,
I mean, talk about a woman who's gone through so much, and now I have 3 grandkids.
yeah,
So it's pretty incredible how fast time goes. But I mean, she's been through a lot, and she's just a real trooper. And I think what the coolest thing about her is her grit is really passing on to the kids, and they're
okay,
squared away, and they, are in that era to where they're not having to be so scared about stuff, or mom is always there and dad's there and that kind of thing. So I mean, they're really pretty good. But um, mom passed away about 7 years ago. Dad is, hanging in there now too. He's not doing too well.
yeah,
But upbringing wise, he was the bear. He was the one that me personally, was fearful of. And so that's kind of what maybe brought into my insecurities and my, being so shy inside and stuff like that. And it's really kind of weird. It's because I still hold on to that even to this day,
yeah,
some of that insecurity and shyness, just based on, the history of life.
yeah, yeah. Did you expect to be a parent? I mean, was that like in your
Man, that is
mindset
a
when
good
you were?
question. Honestly, no, I don't recall, and this might be just a memory thing, but I don't recall thinking I'm going to be a married man and have, 3 or 4 kids. And I like that idea because with my brothers, we're so close, and, all that messing around and fighting each other, and, football and all
Yeah,
that stuff. I would have loved to have that part of the family, but that part, it never worked out for me. I just was blessed
yeah,
to have Kayla and now the 3 grandkids.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. So what do you think? What were some of the? I mean, so you weren't really prepared to be a parent because it sounds like maybe
No.
there wasn't a lot of forethought on it. What was your
It was
approach to it? Once
well,
you have them, and then you're like, okay, now what the hell do I do?
yeah. Oh, I became a parent just as I turned 21. And so I was still in college. I, I didn't know how to take care of myself, let alone I had to face her. And then Paul and Bear and his family, and staying there with them right during the whole chaos. I mean, it's a pretty tough thing to go through when you're just starting to become a young
Yeah,
man, and try to figure out shit. And
yeah,
now I got to be a dad. I mean, yeah, it was very overwhelming.
yeah. Well, I want to carry more on this. I think what we need is about a 5 minute break. I think, your molars are floating here. So,
Yeah, and I need to get my hearing. I got to disconnect my hearing aids from it keeps cutting in and out.
we're just going to
Hang
pause
on.
for a sec and we'll be right back. Give us about 5 minutes.